On this week's Waste of the Week, the United States Department of Education cannot pass an audit with the $49 billion taxpayer-funded budget. Joining us right now with the details is CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Mangievsky. Good morning to you, Adam. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jan.
So an Inspector General report shows that after conducting the yearly audit for the Education Department, the auditors at KPMG issued a disclaimer of opinion, meaning they felt they didn't have enough information to issue an opinion on whether the department was fairly representing their financial statements. What's going on here, Adam? Why was this the case, do you think?
So, Jan, education is the promise of progress. The mission at the United States Department of Education is to deliver academic excellence, and they do this by administering programs. But on this audit by KPMG, and it's an expensive audit, cost taxpayers a lot of money, here's what they found. Number one, they didn't have enough information to complete a proper audit and had to issue the disclaimer of opinion. And that's because they couldn't get underlying information. And number two, there was great, the program of loan forgiveness is in flux. So they didn't have enough information on the loan forgiveness program to estimate future taxpayer liabilities on that program.
Right, you're talking about the student loan plan created by President Biden. There's still a lot of uncertainty about the costs with that, including confusion whether or not it's even constitutional. Have we seen widespread financial uncertainty like this before?
So specific to this loan forgiveness program, if you remember, Joe Biden, he ran on a promise to forgive $10,000 of student loans for qualified borrowers. What he instituted was a program to forgive up to $20,000 worth of loans for qualified borrowers. Now, you could make between $125,000 and $250,000 as a household to qualify for that loan forgiveness. And of course, 8 million people applied for the program. Then it went to the courts, and the courts and the lower courts and the appeals court, they're split on this. It goes to the Supreme Court. Actually, in 4 days, the United States Supreme Court hears this case at the court and they'll issue an opinion whether or not this program is even constitutional.
Right, because we're talking about forgiveness on one hand, but somebody's got to pay for it. So while students might not be paying for it, American taxpayers will. Auditors also found issues in the internal controls within the department. Why is a lack of just basic accounting tools such a rampant issue right now?
Well, it's a rampant issue because it costs taxpayers billions of dollars over at the Department of Education. The Department of Education, the last time our auditors at OpenTheBooks.com looked at this, the Department of Education admitted to $7 billion in overpayments on their student loans and Pell Grants between fiscal year 2018 and 2019. So by not having the proper internal financial accounting controls, it is costing the United States taxpayer billions of dollars.
And ultimately, the big question is, will there be any consequence of this? Will the Department of Education continue to carry out their budget plans on the taxpayer's dime?
Well, Jan, it's even worse than that because these third-party auditors like KPMG, we took a look at the last 5 years worth of the payments from federal agencies to do audits. They received $2.4 billion. Just 3 firms, Ernst & Young, KPMG, and PricewaterhouseCoopers received $20 billion over the last 5 years to audit federal agencies. And it looks to me like there's no consequences when they violate basic accounting controls, when they violate basic accounting principles. And so, for example, the Department of Education, our auditors found this disclaimer of opinion on page 114. They buried it in their annual financial statements. But up on page 3 was what I would term a fake award, an award they've won for 18 years, saying that they have great accounting controls. So it looks like there's no consequences and a real lack of transparency on the problems.
Yeah, and no checks and balances, it appears. All right. Founder and CEO of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Mangievsky. It was great to see you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.